Good Monday, makers. Welcome back to another episode of Maker Pipe Monday. My name is Dave. Every week, we take a look at wildly creative builds, DIY builds, all made out of EMT conduit. And this week is no different. I've got a really special group of builds, unique customer stories, unique problems that we're trying to solve. And the first one is by Pedro. And this is really unique. He's got a problem with his association. He lives in a community, he has this backyard, and he wants to have an awning on top of it. But every time he puts up, pop up tents or something like that, he gets knocking on the door, the association. It's too high, it's too this, it's too that. But the rule they set down was it's got to be below fence line. So you can see his fence line, and this is the canopy structure that he made out of EMT conduit. And then he kind of interlaced those pop up tents into that. But check this out. This is like resting state, right? He's complying with the rules, but then he's got linear actuators that he built into the whole canopy that lifts the thing up when he wants to use it and enjoy his backyard. And here's some work in progress builds, but you can see these linear actuators in the back that are holding this whole thing up and lifting it at the push of a button so he can enjoy his backyard. This is it right here. If you haven't seen a linear actuator, it's like a screw that expands when you turn the motor on and it lifts the whole thing. Really cool. Pedro, I love your use of these things. I wish more people would incorporate Maker Pipe with linear actuators. Maybe this inspires you to do something and build your thing. I've been thinking about doing like an adjustable desk for a long time with those things. But Pedro, awesome build. I'm glad you're solving your problem with Maker Pipe connectors, and we could have been a help. Cool story. Here's one by Javier. We've been following Javier's workshop. He presses some different oils and everything, and he does this. And we've seen his workstation, and he's progressing his whole workshop. And now he's built this shelving system, really simple with some T connectors, two kind of ladder structures, and then plywood stretch across. Excuse me. So he's got some supplies and packing materials there. But Javier, thanks for taking us along on the journey of your workshop. It's coming along great. I love seeing it. Here is a build by Jiggy, and this is wild. I mean, when I saw this, I couldn't believe it. This is a sidecar for an electric bike, and Jiggy has the grandkids over, and they were getting bored. So after seeing our video, getting some connectors, this is the product of that. Pretty awesome build. You can see the whole basket is made out of EMT conduit and our connectors. And then there's even a back a back loop of a bike here attached with U-bolts and all kinds of things on the back, and even connectors grabbing that. On the other side, there's some unique way to connect it, conduit flattened out, but this is just too much. Awesome build, Jiggy. Love to see the creativity, and I bet the grandkids are not getting bored anymore. And it goes to show there's no build too big for the grandkids, I guess. But love seeing it. Really cool. And if you want to see some more details, go to the post here in the community. Another kind of outdoor build by Dayton is this really neat solar panel rack. It's got a solar system that it can deploy in the backyard on the deck, and then created this frame to hold the solar panel racks. He's got two there. And this is something we've been seeing a lot of. Got an all-in-one kind of battery bank and inverter there, it looks like, and all the electronics you need. And then he said that you can easily change the angle of the sun. No, you can't change the angle of the sun. You can change the angle of your rack depending on the angle of the sun, what season it is. He said just, you loosen up this bottom T, and these are adjustable angles, and you can kind of adjust that as you go. So he said we only have to do that a couple times a year, and it's working out great for Dayton. Survived a windstorm that he was saying, had a huge windstorm, and it survived. So that's great news. Glad to hear it. Thanks so much for posting it. Here is kind of an announcement. I had the opportunity to do a podcast, first podcast that wasn't on the Maker Pipe channel. So I was super honored. And this is by the folks at Clamp, three woodworkers and makers that have this podcast. And if you want a little bit longer of a listen, we go into kind of the whole thing about Kickstarter, what it takes to make a Kickstarter, some things, some secrets to success, and then kind of the Maker Pipe journey. So if you're interested, check out the Clamp podcast on YouTube or wherever your podcasts are listened to. Those guys are great. Thanks for having me on, guys. Here's one that Jake posted to the community. Really neat storage solution for all these yard signs. And Chris sent this to us, and then we posted it. but they built racks for their yard signs and really kind of a unique thing. But now they're able to store all these different yard signs in a very small place. They have a balloon decoration business and a really neat solution that helps them with their business. I love seeing it. And we appreciate you sending it in, Chris. Thanks so much. And here one is another one that Jake posted. This is really cool. This is a ladder material rack extension for the front of this Ram pickup truck. And you never think of this. They use the tow hooks and our connectors on the tow hook. So they use that to mount it to the actual truck, which is just so cool. And then they took some pipe insulation and even zip tied it to the front because it really only has to support the material like that. But a great temporary solution to get the material to the job site or home. I love seeing it, and they left a nice couple words and some details about their build. So really cool group of builds. I can't believe the problems that people are solving with just EMT conduit. It's really awesome. Thanks everybody for posting that. If you like these, if you want to see more builds, more creative builds, go ahead and subscribe. We'd love to have you, and we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.